What do you think makes an artist important? Something to think about. Pink Floyd's Roger Waters told the Globe and Mail that he's, quote, far, far, far more important than Drake or The Weeknd. It was 3 fars. Is he just being crotchety, or maybe does he have a little bit of a point? There are some people online who do agree with the impact of Pink Floyd's music.
Wait. Right. Yeah, I know I hear the booing, but I'm going to defend Roger, and it's going to surprise people.
Ooh.
Because, listen to this. The reporter started off by telling him, I wanted to interview you, but my boss didn't think you were important. He wanted me to do this other interview with The Weeknd. So right off the bat, he's cornering him and making him feel like for all the years you've been an artist, they don't think you're important, and they wanted me to do this other guy who's new and up and coming.
Right.
And this is the type of stuff where you are gaslighting someone to start off an interview in a defensive mode. Because if you start off telling me, oh, they didn't really want you. They wanted this other person. Well, what do you think I'm gonna say back to them? I'm gonna be like, well, that's great. No, I'm gonna defend myself and be like, I don't even know who those people are. I'm gonna pull a Mariah. I don't know her. Right?
Yeah.
We're gonna pull that because you set him up to do that, so it's not fair. And it's that kind of reporting. I used to be an entertainment reporter for a long time, and it's that kind of reporting that has A-listers like Beyonce and Drake never doing. You notice they don't do any press?
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not talking to you, because almost like they feel like they're gonna be goaded into these types of interviews.
Right.
So, right, you're gonna ask me some question, and this is just before a show, by the way. He was doing a concert that, can you imagine? We've got all the prep we do before we come out here, and could you imagine someone just planting that seed a couple hours before showtime? Oh, they didn't really want you, Cynthia. They wanted somebody else. You're setting that person up to be defensive. So I know his comment was unnecessary, but we have to give some context. He was set up to feel like, oh, you're not important, you're less than, nobody knows who you are, you're kind of a has-been, which in the entertainment industry is the worst insult you can ever give somebody. So I'm defending him by saying, no, the reporter was in the wrong by why are you even starting off a conversation that way?
Hey, can I give some more context? David on Facebook said, Roger Waters has always been full of himself, but I think he's right. I attended his concert on July 8th, and he uses his platform to comment on political issues and spread awareness for human rights. Drake and The Weeknd should step up and use their platform to bring light to important issues
and put some respect on his name.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It was an interesting take. I didn't read it that way, but now you're shedding a whole new light. Yeah. I thought it was just more, again, it depends on what the tone was, and we don't know because it was written down. I was taken as the journalist was kind of just being like, well, you know, I tried to do this interview initially, but we couldn't get through. We tried to. There was some back and forth thing, and then it kind of all spiraled out from there. The thing that I found most depressing about the article was when Roger Waters said that he doesn't listen to music.
Yeah.
Imagine a musician. Like, it's your thing that you probably were most passionate about at one point in time, that you decide that you no longer like music or keep up with the times. That to me, said something about his character, even if he was feeling defensive.
Yeah, but I wonder if he gets somewhat of a pass for being, I do think he came across as crotchety, but does he get a pass for that because of his sort of legacy, because of his age? Like, talk to us in 30 years.
Oof.
You know,
30.
In our golden age.
I say 5.
I don't know if I'm gonna be like humble.
30, I say 5.
You know,
Are you saying, Jess, we're going to be walking around going, who is she?
Well, we might be. We could be like, Mark and Mark, I was the best. You know?
I feel like this is, I mean, we're making a big deal because there's big names involved.
Yeah.
Like you say his name, you say Drake, you say Weeknd, and it's like
the
fan bases, there's a story. But is this just a function of like time and maybe a bit of age? He's 78. And the Drake and the Weeknd, like when I looked at some of their albums, like I think like Drake's first album dropped only 11 years ago. Not only, but 11 years ago. The Weeknd, his first like mainstream, in terms of mainstream success, that only dropped a decade ago. So these guys are new, they're hot. And like Roger Waters has been doing this for over 55 years.
He could be their grandfather.
You know, he really could. So is it a function of just a generational gap where it's like, I'm sorry, are you kind of insulting me by saying like these guys are more important? They're big, they're hot, but you do have to respect the hustle. If Drake is still dropping albums 40 more years from now,
If Drake is still
going through that.
Exactly.
And the original question, what makes an artist important? I think legacy comes into that.
Yeah,
sure.
You know, their influence, and the history hasn't been written for Drake or The Weeknd yet. So I do think there's that.
They're just starting.
But you know, hey there, and thanks for sticking around. Wasn't that just fantastic? You know where you can get some more all-around great content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with all the laughs and thought-provoking chats you could ask for. So do yourself a favor, like and subscribe now.